Soju Bomb. Soju Bomb. Oh. Soju Bomb.
It's on.
It's on.
We're starting.
We are most certainly starting. And so, hello.
A big shot of your crotch right
A big shot of my crotch before we begin, because
big shout out to my crotch. Big
shout,
face.
yes, big shout out to my crotch, who is always a wonderful co-star here on Soju Bomb.
Soju Bomb. What he said.
And of course, I am one of your hosts. Along with my crotch is also myself, Jamin, near and dear to my heart, Bassette, and my illustrious other co-host,
My crotch.
and the fourth host,
My hair. James the Yellow Dart's taking a break from all this.
Everything in between is not actually present today. Okay, of course, Soju Bomb, we talk about Soju Bomb. I think about various aspects of Korean culture, most specifically cinema. We've been doing a lot of cinema ones.
Yeah, we just figured we'd just go keep it that. Why not?
There you go. And so today we're going to talk about another Korean movie.
Yeah.
You have not seen Memories of Murder yet. That one's going to be very soon. Very good Korean movie. But you have seen one of the director's other films, Mother. So today we're going to be talking about the movie Mother. A mother. Now the reason why the movie is called Mother is it's a double meaning. The Korean pronunciation of the English word mother is the exact same pronunciation of the word murder.
Murder.
Mother.
Murder.
There you go.
Murder.
And this movie has a murder in it, but it doesn't start with a murder. No. It starts off with a fairly elderly woman with a, let's say, mentally handicapped child. So why don't you tell us how this movie starts?
She's chopping. Going along, chopping. She looks up her mentally handicapped child. He's what, in his 20s? Was he 20s?
30s.
30, oh, dang, 30s, okay. Older than I thought. Alright, in his 30s. He's hanging out with pretty much his only friend.
Yeah.
They're goofing off, and a car swings by. And it hits him. He pretty much clips him, knocks him down. He gets up, he's fine.
Yep.
And him and his friend chase after that car.
Really?
Yes, they do. Of course, because of his problem, he can't remember anything. He calls it a gray car when it was white, and he has like the license plate numbers, not a single one, not a single letter or number right. Everything's off. But his friend caught it, so they were able to follow it. And they also realized that, well, since how nice it was, they had to be part of a country club. So even though they lost the car itself, they knew, all right, how expensive it was. There's only one place people in this area who have money go.
In Korea, golf is extremely expensive, and because of how expensive real estate is, drives the cost of golf. And there isn't a lot of golf courses. In fact, most of the Koreans I know who golf regularly, they go to what they call screen golf. So they practice their swing and their putt, and that's it. They may go to an actual golf course once a year, if that. So they made the assumption, being a pretty poor town, Mercedes-Benz, probably going to the golf course. Was that assumption correct?
Yes, it was. They found the correct car, and the friend runs over and kicks off one of the mirrors. And then the main character, the
One Ben.
We'll call him One Ben.
One Ben's the name of the actor.
He runs and tries to do the kick thing too, completely misses the mirror and falls down and gets going, oh man, I hurt my butt. He's rubbing his butt the entire time when they're walking over. They find the right people. And the friend's trying to get him to take revenge for himself. He's sitting there, he's like a stick because they're driving the golf cart past the woods. He's sitting there with a stick, and they're like, "What's going on? Who is that?" And he just goes, and he runs away
because he forgot that they were there for revenge.
He completely forgot why he was there. So he's like, "What am I doing?" So he just ran off. He's left. And so the friend's like, "Oh, come on!" So he runs, chases them down, really sprints after them, grabs a golf club, and starts threatening them, and swinging at them, beating them up. They got into a little altercation. One Ben, main character, sees that and runs and joins the fight. Doesn't even know why he's fighting. He thinks he's helping his friend out. And the friend actually ended up chucking a golf club in the water, which later you find out he did that so he can come back later, find it in the water because it's probably a really expensive golf club. So he kind of steals that. Well, the police arrest them all. They're trying to find out what's going on. Ultimately, the hit and run and the assault cancel each other out.
Yes.
But the mirror The kicking of the mirror, breaking that off on an expensive car would cost a pretty penny.
It was like $1,500, $2,000, something like that.
Yes. And they...
Dollars, not one.
Yes, dollars, not one. If that was one, then I'd be like, whatever here, I'll have it right here in change. Just drop some quarters down. Or I guess not quarters, but you know what I mean. Quarter-like things. These are quarters like 500 won. Anyways.
Okay, so at this point...
Too hot, Jamie. It's too hot.
At this point, the son's got a little reputation for getting himself into trouble. The police know who he is. It's a small town. They know who he is. That night, he goes out drinking. He wants to go out drinking with his friend, but his friend doesn't show up, does he?
Mm-mm. Not at all. And you find out that the friend is kind of not much of a friend, because after hearing how much it was, he blamed Ben, the main character, for breaking the mirror.
Took advantage of him being a little...
a handicap, and taking advantage of the fact that he doesn't remember jack squat. So he doesn't remember breaking the mirror. But it's not going to help him in this case because he can't also defend himself.
Mm-hmm. Sad situation.
Yes, when he gets called retard, he pauses for a second and then
freaks out.
Just one of the rich people say, "You know how much money that is, retard?" And so he beats the crap out of him.
Pablo.
Yeah.
Although he's a Pablo Siki, which is a little worse than Pablo, but still pretty bad.
Well, yeah, if they're both bad, then the one that's a little worse is still going to be bad.
Shut up.
Anyway,
so he goes out drinking that night. Friend doesn't show up, but he does see someone. Who does he see?
He sees what is she, like a senior, I guess, in high school or whatever.
Yeah.
She, the lady who owns the bar.
Yeah.
That's her daughter. And he doesn't really understand the whole concept of age and such. So the fact that she's like
significantly younger than him.
Significantly younger, almost half his age. He hits on her. The mom doesn't appreciate that, kicks him out, tells him to leave, which she already did anyways. Mm-hmm. And so he's walking home. It's nighttime. He sees another girl.
About the same age.
And follows her and tries to get her attention. Hey, you're really pretty. Hey, talk to me. And she turns into an alleyway. He looks in the alleyway, can't really see anything, so he decides to walk away. But it's not good enough for the girl. She throws a rock at him, a rather large
concrete block.
Concrete block, okay.
Something like cinder block.
Yeah, so that's why it's large rock.
And this appears to freak him out. Yeah.
He stops, he looks down, he turns, and it looks like he's going to walk away. And that's when the change scenes.
Yeah, change scenes.
In the middle of turning, it just changes him.
And then the next day, he gets a visit from the police. What did the police have to say to him?
The girl that he was following, who threw the cement block, was found dead. Mm-hmm. A large blow to the head, and she was draped atop of the roof of the alleyway that she turned into. And one of the golf balls was found. And the funny thing about that, he takes a bunch of those golf balls.
He found them like in the creek or
in
water trap.
In the water trap when they're waiting for the people to drive by. And when the police station went, while he was waiting, he wrote his name on the golf balls. And he tried to pay his bill with said golf balls. So he's walking around, and he's just tossing them around. Just tossed them randomly. And so the police find the golf balls with his name on it, thinking that he's leaving a calling card. And
just that he's so dumb.
Or so dumb and he dropped it. Just they see that it's his name. They see that there's a witness that saw him talk to her. So he was arrested for murder. Mm-hmm. The mom is not happy with this.
She freaks out.
Completely freaks out. She goes visit him, and she keeps trying to tell him to remember, teach him all these tricks that helped him remember in the past. And he goes, I remember everything. Because he doesn't remember the night at all. Yep. He doesn't remember the girl. Yep. And she goes, good, tell what happened. He's like, I didn't break that mirror, my friend did. She's going, wait, what? No, who cares about the mirror? He's like, oh, well, I'm sorry, that's just what I remember. I didn't break the mirror, he did. So it's like, oh, never mind, I guess he doesn't remember.
And the lawyer seems to be jerking him around and trying to get money out of him.
Yes, the lawyer is supposed to be the best in the area, and he's a D.
He's a D-bag, big D-bag. Oh, he's like, oh yeah, we're going slow and methodical with this case. That's why we're not investigating anything right. Shut up.
Yes, don't investigate anything right now, or the case is warm. Just wait till it becomes a cold case, and he's in jail for a few years.
Pablo. Well, the mother decides to take matters into her own hands.
And she does.
And who does she blame?
She blames the friend. She never liked him. Bad influence on him.
He's getting him into trouble.
Keeping him in trouble. He blamed, obviously, his mentally handicapped friend for everything.
Kind of a dick.
Kind of a D. Yeah. He's A decent friend sometimes.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, decent. Ha, do you get it? I got it.
See what you did there.
Yes, I totally did that on purpose. Anyways, it seems sometimes like he's a decent friend, like he wants to get justice for his friend, but then he's ultimately looking out for number one.
Yes.
And so she goes to investigate. She finds the golf club that he goes back to get after he threw it in the water, just for that reason. And there's some red substance on it. She's
blood. I hope this isn't Chris's blood.
Anyways, so she's thinking, okay, he killed that girl.
Yeah.
He beat her with the golf club.
Yeah.
He comes back, so she hides in the closet. And he comes back with that same, it's the same girl, right? The first one he tried to hit on.
This.
Yeah, okay, I'm just making sure I'm not being racist here. The first schoolgirl that he started to hit on, the daughter of the lady who owned the bar.
The 18-year-old.
The 18-year-old. And yeah.
The friend and the 18-year-old are an item.
Yeah, if you want to call it that. It's another one of those scenes that we had to skip. And it's another one of those times where we accidentally skipped so much. But I had to do it because a certain brother of mine said, oh, yes, I'm going to take a shower, James. You
okay, my wife just got home.
You watched the movie.
My wife just got home from work. I hadn't taken a shower yet. She needed to take a shower. Like, okay, we're going to go take a shower, and then I'll come back. I completely forgot. Oh yeah, like not even 3 minutes later is going to be that. Oh, I need to skip this scene.
Just put it this way, he's gone for a good 10, 15 minutes. He comes back. I'm only 5 minutes longer in the movie because I hit the skip button and it skipped way more than I needed.
But okay, but in my defense. In my defense, you're an adult. Suck it up.
I'm an adult. I also thought for a while I had virgin eyes.
Aww. Never. Okay, so continue on. She takes the golf club with the red substance on it to the police. And what do they discover?
It's lipstick. They find a video of them together, and you see the girl kiss the golf club. It matches. Yeah, that went through. So, the friend blackmails the mother then for doing that to her. And you're like, wow, this guy can't become a bigger D.
Huge D.
Finds out he actually becomes slightly better. Still a huge D. Slightly better.
Well, here's the point that we always come to in Soju Bomb. If you have any interest in seeing this movie and you don't want it to be spoiled for you, this is probably the time to stop. This movie you can find it in English. The version we saw was in English. We saw it on Blu-ray, but they have it on DVD as well.
It's not in English. It's just it has English subtitles.
Yeah, it's the English version. You can get it. You can buy it off Amazon, really cheap. This DVD was actually pretty packed. It's got director commentary, obviously with English subtitles. It's got like almost an hour worth of behind the scenes stuff. This is actually a pretty solid DVD release. So it's a Mongolia. But they released some pretty decent Korean DVDs in the States. All right, so as always, A, did you like it?
Yeah, I did. I enjoyed it.
B, would you recommend it?
Yes.
And C, to whom?
Let's see. If you skip that one scene I tell you about, I already warned you. When she goes into the closet and hides, just skip the rest of that until she's no longer in the closet, and then you're fine. That's honestly the only scene.
Trapped in the closet. You won't come out of the closet.
He's going closer to the closet. Hope he's looking in the closet because I'm hiding in the closet. Closet. Anyways, no one's gonna get that reference. Anyways, again, if you skip that scene, I think it's very suitable for Josiah. I think Josiah, Jana, Dad, they probably like it. I don't think it's up Mom's alley. I would like her to watch and then ask the question.
Especially getting the one girl's background.
Yes, but I would kind of like Mom to watch it and ask her the question. Would you do that for me, Mom? Would you do that for me?
Would do it for me, Mom.
Would you do that for me?
I would put this one step past Ajoshi on the rating scale. Like if Ajoshi for me, if you skip the one trunk scene, Ajoshi deals with some real dark material, but I'd put like a well-rounded 15-year-old could watch Ajoshi. I'd put this a little higher.
Really?
Just a smidgen.
Why?
Well, some of the subject matter deals with the one girl. We haven't gotten into that yet.
That's true. That's true. So I honestly compare them to the same because Ajoshi does have a lot of some of that because the one girl was a hoe. Yeah. She a hoe. Drug material, really violent. This one isn't nearly as violent. So I'm thinking I kind of hold them the same. Again, there's certain scenes you skip. It's perfectly fine for the family, but I wish we skipped them.
All right, so continuing on. Again, this is spoiler territory, so turn it off now if you're interested in this movie. Again, it's called Mother. Okay, so continuing on, the D-bag friend slightly redeems himself. How does he do that?
He offers her help. He wants to help with the investigation. He actually wants his friend to be released from murder.
Vindicated.
Vindicated, thank you. Gives her some hints and sets her in the right direction. So she decided to find more about this girl. There's a scene where she actually goes to the funeral and the whole fight breaks out, and it kind of makes me mad only because the people get pissed that she dare showed her face. She's like, okay, well, the background of the girl that died. She's living with her drunk grandmother, taking care of her by herself, working jobs and doing...
Yeah, who the heck is this family? Comes out of the woodwork. Family coming out of nowhere.
Yeah, like, let's put it this way. The thing we were talking about earlier, obviously, this is the big spoiler. She got the nickname Rice Cake because she would sleep with you for a rice cake.
Well, that's a hyperbole, but she was, for lack of a better word, she was whoring herself out for money. And it wasn't to like other high school kids. It was literally to just about any guy that was willing to pay her.
Yeah, because she needed to support herself and her grandmother. So the fact that these people were all freaking out and attacking her, saying, "Oh, shut up! Your son's horrible. You should have raised him better. I can't believe he did this and killed that poor sweet girl." It's like, okay, where were you? Where were you?
Where were you with this girl? Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that pisses me off. Yeah. But anyways, it's just a movie, so whatevs, right?
Whatevs. Yeah. Okay, so the mother decides to do some investigation on this girl, and that's when she finds out about all that. She was not only doing this, but she wanted a little insurance. She was actually taking secret pictures of all the guys that she had these transactions with the possibility, the hope, the possibility, we're not quite sure. It doesn't really imply too much, of blackmailing them. Obviously, we don't know what age she started this, so it's very possible that some of those customers did so very illegally.
Very. So
this would be... that is an alternative avenue for her to make money without having to continue to whore herself out. Yes. So the mother thinks, okay, this is probably why she was killed.
One of the customers.
Flips through the photos and finds a rather interesting one. The old man.
But we aren't there yet.
We're not there? Where are we?
Well, she had to try to get the phone.
Oh, that's right, okay.
Yeah, she finds the one friend who helped her install that camera.
Yes. Because in Korea, I'm almost certain it's the same in the States. It's illegal to have any kind of camera or camera app on a phone that doesn't make a noise when you take a picture. Even when I turn all the sound off on my phone, because I prefer vibrate to loud noise. When you take a picture, it still goes or smile or
say
cheese. I'm gonna say cheese. You know what have you. But in order for her to take these secret pictures, she had to basically rig her phone, get a friend to go in there and disable all that.
The mother was trying to convince the friend to show her how and to do it with her phone. The friend did not trust her and convinced her to sneak away, leave for a second.
Yep.
When she comes back to her, she's gone. She's trying to find her. She sees her in the alley getting bullied and picked on by two high school students who said, "We know you have the phone. Give it to us now." And they were beating her and everything. So the mother knew she couldn't take on two high school boys. She's an old lady. So when she saw a man who came out of the restaurant, which next to the building, she purposely knocked something over to make it break.
It was Soju bottles.
Soju bottles. He turned around and saw the two guys and said, "Hey, what are you doing in my alleyway? Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing?" So the girl was able to run away from that. And the two boys escaped as well. The guy was threatening them. Mm-hmm. But now the mother knew who the two guys were and needed to know their story. That's what she calls the D-bag friend up, who redeemed himself a little bit here.
I should have been an investigator.
Should have been an investigator. He kidnaps the two guys and beats the ever-living daylights out of them. And they go to a closed amusement park and closes them into one of the like Ferris wheel rides. That's actually like in a, there's an overhead thing, bars and everything. So if you shut the door, they can't get out without opening the door, which he locked. Interrogates them, finds more about the girl and understand what's going on, and trying to get her hit the hands on the phone. Yeah. The guy makes a comment, one of the kids makes a comment that the poor retard was in the wrong place at the wrong time. And that he's rot in jail for something he probably didn't do. It's probably one of the guys that she whored herself out to, for lack of a better term. And kept bad-talking the guy, bad-talking Won-Ben, the main character. And the friend kept telling him to stop, and he wouldn't. So he kicks him in the face and knocking out his front teeth.
Yeah, oof, that looked painful.
Yes, you're like, oh, okay.
Painful.
Okay. So you're slightly redeeming yourself. At the end of it all, the mother pays him again. So you're like, oh, you're still a D. At least you're helping. You're still a D.
Yeah, he's still kind of a D. So they use this to track the phone back to that drunk grandmother from the funeral.
Yep.
It turns out that drunk grandmother is a little off her own rocker.
Yes. She's always drinking rice wine, which is
Makgeolli.
Makgeolli.
Macolina. James, do you know Makgeolli?
Makgeolli Chow.
So goes there, gets the phone from her. She's flipping through the pictures, and she finds someone she recognizes.
There's an old man that she remembers previously on The Walking Dead. No. Anyways, previously, she passes an old guy who just collects trash.
Junk man.
And there's an umbrella there. She grabs the umbrella because it's starting to rain. Notice the guy didn't realize she grabbed it, so she stops him and tries to pay him for it. Hands him a couple bills and
hands him $2, and he only takes one.
He takes just the one, and that's it, and keeps going. She's like, oh, okay. But she recognizes him, so she tracks him down and pretends to be part of a group that helps the homeless or helps the people who are in need.
Yeah, elderly.
Elderly, yeah. And so he's like, oh, okay, that's cool, and made a comment that he witnessed something horrible the other night. And she goes, oh, well, what is it? Well, what's going on? Because she thinks he's the one who did it, because after finding the picture, she goes back to her son and shows him the picture on the phone and says, yeah, that's the guy I remember. I remember him.
I remember seeing that guy.
He ends up being inside the building which the girl was found on the roof of. And he's just telling that story about how everything, you'd see from his perspective, everything that happened. She threw the cement block. He sees this land, can't see her in the alleyway, turns and walks away. But only gets a few steps.
She yells something at him. What does she yell?
She at first she yells, "Do you know me?" He stops. No, I don't know you. Then why are you following me? What do you want? Doesn't respond. Doesn't know what to say. Kind of shrugs a little bit, and she calls him a name. She calls him retard, which is I want to say the third time in this movie he's called that.
And the first two times he totally beat the crap out of those guys for calling him that.
And by saying that, he picks up the rock and throws it back into the alleyway. Can't see her, just chucks it. And you see it crush the girl.
Right in the back of the head.
Then later, he is dragging her up the steps. He's panicking though. But for this, he looks in. He kind of noticed that a big thud happened. He creeps a little bit closer. He notices the girl's on the ground. He whips out his phone, closes it again. Whips out his phone, closes it again. He starts panicking. He can't remember the number for
911. In Korea, it's called 119. But yeah,
whatever.
He can't remember the number.
He just can't. He doesn't. He didn't mean to kill her. He didn't mean even really hurt her. It was a reaction to the fact that what he was called.
So he puts her on the roof because in his let's call it simple mind. In his simple mind, he thinks if I put her up here, people will see her and someone will call 119 and help her.
She'll be saved. That is what he was thinking. The mother freaks out. No, you must have saw it wrong. This can't be right. That's not what happened. That's not what happened. He goes, no, I remember exactly what I saw. She's like, but he was released today. They had enough evidence to, because of what she found on the phone and everything. They realized, okay, just a golf ball doesn't mean jack squat.
Yeah. So photos of a possible blackmail for statutory rape.
Yeah, that's way bigger. So he was putting the permits the whole "don't leave town" kind of thing. But he was released. So the guy was like, oh, really? Those police officers don't do jack squat right. I better call in and tell him what I saw. And in the heat of the moment, she kills him.
Yeah.
Without even thinking. She's covered in his blood after beating him to death, laying there on the ground, and she's freaked out. She doesn't know what to do. So she burns the place down. Completely torches it up.
Yeah. And coincidence of coincidences, One Ben isn't the only person from the town who is mentally handicapped.
The only other person was the actual boyfriend of the girl who had to whore herself out for money.
So they finally catch up with him, and he's got blood on his shirt. Turns out this girl has had frequent nosebleeds, but no one knew this except for her close friends. The people actually knew her. And so, well, the police find this guy, got the girl's blood on his clothes, and of course, he's mentally handicapped. He's not entirely there. And so they say, oh, he must be the actual killer.
Because his motive would be he didn't realize she was whoring herself out, saw that she was doing this to all these people, and killed her.
Yeah.
That is decent motive. A lot better than golf ball. Randomly saw her and killed her. So he's released.
So one Ben is released, and this other poor guy is.
She goes and sees him.
Place.
He has no family. No one to miss him while he's gone, because the only person who was true family for him was the girl who was murdered.
Well, in all fairness to the quality of writing and storytelling in this movie, they mention this guy like 3 or 4 times in the movie.
Yes, they do.
Like just like background stuff, like the one cop's working is trying to find him because he's connected to an entirely different runaway case, and the friends were talking about him,
saying that
he was the guy spreading rumors, and
yeah, some of the kids were like, "Oh, I heard she was dating him." What? No way! That guy was ugly as all heck.
Yeah.
She wouldn't date him. Things like that.
Yeah.
So he was mentioned a good bit throughout the movie.
Yeah.
And so the mother realizes that okay, my son actually did this, and someone else is in jail when he doesn't need to be. He doesn't deserve to be. But he doesn't do anything. Throughout the movie, she was giving acupuncture to people because that's what she does.
Yeah.
She tried to convince. There's a way that helps. She believes there's a spot inside your thigh that can make you forget things.
There's a lot of science behind acupuncture. There's also a lot of folklore also associated with it, and so there's folklore that believe things like unblocking chi can improve memory, and all sorts of stuff. And so, like you said, she believes that there's a spot in the inner thigh that if you poke it just right, you can actually forget specific painful memories.
And so yeah, at the end of the movie, when one button gets released, she of course she just got them torching the place where the guy she just killed.
Yeah.
And the friend shows up, picks him up with his girl, who is just barely legal, and it's still super creepy.
Yeah.
And they have a cake, and they sing it's a happy birthday tune, but it's congratulations on getting out of jail.
In Korea, whenever you get to prison, they give you tofu, because tofu is all white, and it symbolizes like a new start, starting from scratch.
Tofu cake, not actual cake. Anyways, and so on the way back, they see, hey, look, that place burned. They saw a place that burnt down. Like, yeah, it's not, the old guy must have died in there. Maybe there's some still junk we could salvageable. So they actually stopped there. Funny side note, when driving, the one Ben mentions, hey, you got a nice car. When'd you get this? He's like, oh, I came into money recently.
Yeah, your mom's money.
The blackmail money I used to blackmail your mom, yes. Dick. Anyways, so they pull in there, and one Ben finds something. It's the acupuncture case that she always carried around. She left it. And
she dropped it by accident. Yeah.
And the case was a little torched, a little burnt, but everything inside was fine. He gives it to her, saying, hey, I found this. You gotta, make sure you don't be leaving this stuff around. And she freaks out because where she actually left it, realizing everything. She runs on, she goes on the bus because they have like this parent or grandparent day thing.
It doesn't really specify. It's just all the old ladies from the village are going on some kind of trip together, singing songs.
Yeah, they're on the bus, singing songs, dancing, and she sat in the back quietly. And opened up the acupuncture case and did that to her leg. And then she stands up and she starts dancing with the rest of the group.
Now, this is another one of those ambiguous endings, like Old Boy. Koreans love ambiguous or sad endings.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
For me personally, I like to believe that, because there was another scene where she's just kind of like dancing strangely in the middle of a field after the murder happened.
Yeah.
Me personally, I think she did it and it didn't work, and now she knows that she just has to live she's gonna have to live with this for the rest of her life, and she just
slowly going insane, just
losing it.
Dancing.
Yeah.
And then of course there's oh, okay, it worked. She's happy again because she forgot that she killed someone. She forgot that her son was the murderer.
And you take it either way.
I choose the unhappy ending, of course, because that's more realistic.
There you go. But anyways, this of course has been Mother. Thank you for joining us on this. It has been a good while. We definitely need to catch up some. There's a lot of Korean movies left for you to watch, and join us next time. We'll be covering probably Guns and Talks next.
Bad title.
Horrible title. We'll go over that here in a bit. All right, see you guys later. Love you. Bye bye.
Murder.